Hello, I'm an energetic healer. I'm also a Reiki Master Teacher certified in Usai Reiki in 2019, as well as a Fire Reiki practitioner and energy healer certified this year. I also have shamaness abilities and I'm very spiritually awakened, and I'm an HSP, which is called a highly sensitive person. If you don't know what a HSP is, you can go online and you could go into Google and you could search HSP, which is a highly sensitive person, and this ties into the books written by Dr. Elaine Aron out in California and her husband. I want you to know that sensitivity is not a weakness, it is actually a gift. Sometimes, yes, you could be so sensitive and so in tune with everything, and you could be so aware and you feel like your awareness is a curse. It's not. This is a blessing because you're able to see through things, and this is able to save you from hurt and accidents that regular people who are not awakened cannot see like you. I want you to understand that you are different because you have divine gifts, and that you are awakened because you were chosen. You're a chosen individual to where you could be your own inner goddess, your own God. Okay? The deities that choose you doesn't mean that you're a devil worshiper, doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. These deities are choosing you because you are on a different path than everybody else. You are being chosen because they're trying to show you and shape your path and show you how strong you are and show you also what you need to know for your own lives, whether it's for the present or the future. I want you to understand that you need to be different in order to be an intellectual. It's important to go within and have solitude, and you learn to be alone. This will strengthen you, and this will also make you a very wise person to the point where you're able to see things in the long run, and you're able to gain all of these wisdom experiences so you can look back and you could see how far you've come. I also want you to know that it's important to take time in nature, and it's important to feed your physical vessel very nutritious things. Okay, so if you're on a spiritually awakened path, you know that your digestive system gets very very sensitive to the point where you can't eat normal food like other people. So it's important that you understand that you have to sometimes fast, and sometimes you have to juice, or sometimes you have to cleanse, and you have to cut the old foods or the old beverages that you used to drink and consume out because you're no longer on that path. You're being called for something more, something different. I want you to understand that this is not a curse and nothing is wrong with you. This is actually a divine blessing. You are chosen, okay? So today I'm going to be doing some healing, and we're going to be shaking out any negativity, because when you're on a divine path and when you are a chosen one, the old people in your life fall back and you no longer are aligned with them. So they will become critics. A lot of them will also wish you harm. A lot of them will understand your path and they'll want you to do a traditional path that they want for you, but it's not their life and that's not their decision to make that choice for your path or your life. So what they start to do is they start to try to talk, and this energy can manifest in blockages for you. And then they start talking amongst each other, which is more energies, and it can manifest in blockages in your abundance, your prosperity, your love life. It can manifest in blockages in your abundance, your money, how you make your money. Some of them will want you to live a life that they want you to live. That's not their choice. It's not their call. Some of them will actually do black magic on you to try to control you, and it's not funny, but I've had this personally happen to me, actually several accounts in this lifetime, to the point where they're not on a spiritually awakened path, and they would try to control me, or they would try to make fun of me, or talk down on my name, or talk down against me, and I would feel these energies and pick them up in my psychic visions, because I am also a clairvoyant, a clairsentient, and a claircognizant. And they did not understand my path. They didn't understand why I couldn't traditionally work anymore or go back into the matrix. They didn't understand why my relationship fell apart. When you're on a spiritual awakening path, your relationships fall apart. You no longer are aligned energetically with your family, with your spouse, with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or even your old friend groups. And it's okay to be different. A lot of them will actually start narcissistically abusing you and triangulating you to the point where they will all be talking bad about you. And they will be like, oh, why isn't she working? Oh, she's lazy. And this is just a basic narrow-minded thinking to the point where you're no longer aligned with matrix energies. You are no longer aligned with your old life. You are chosen for something greater. You are chosen to awaken. You are chosen to be different. You're not chosen to go with the rest of the flock of sheep, okay? So it's important that we clear this. So today I'm going to be cutting the cords of negative energies. We're going to be doing some feather work, as well as working with some selenite and black tourmaline and some more protective crystals to get just negative energy. Maybe someone said something to you and it just stuck. So I'm an energetic healer and a shamaness. I'm going to get this gunk of what they said out of you. It's important that you're here and you're chosen to see this video, because maybe all of these are manifesting as blockages in your life. And how am I able to know about all of this? Because I'm standing here today teaching you because of my divine goddess wisdom. It has happened to me. So this is why I am here to warn you guys, because your life is your own path and it's your own decisions that you make. We were given free will. You are not meant to be controlled. You are not meant to live in a box. You are not meant to have to go into society and be forced to work your life away every day. If you have a thought, a creative idea, or an endeavor, that is your inner god or goddess within you telling you, go for this. Do not allow the noisy opinions of others to drag you down or to hold you back or to talk you out of your decision, which your intuition knows what is right. I want you to understand that it is okay to write that book. It is okay to go and travel the world and live in your car. It's okay to get on that flight. All you need to do is just do what is right for you, and you know what is right for you in here. So right now I'm going to be clearing with some selenite. I'm just going to go in here and energetically take out any type of strings, blockages from other people's, the naysayers, the haters, you won't call them, whatever. The people who aren't on a spiritual awakened path and who are just very basic, who just like to talk down on you. Maybe they like to target you. Maybe they have something wrong with them and they see that you're on a holistic or a spiritual path that is unburdened and they don't like it. Maybe they're stressed out in their lives. Maybe they're narcissists or narcopaths, or they have something wrong with them. And they see that you have light to shine. You have gifts and talents, and they're envious and jealous of these gifts. It's important that you have to give yourself physical distance and also energetically clear from these types of people, because these people are very toxic for your energy. And you don't need to absorb their energy. And they want you to absorb their energy. And some of them are energetic vampires. And some of them will take your energy. And some of them will rage bait you. Which means producing a very negative stimulus response emotionally for you. So you will start feeling angry, upset, frustrated, down and sad. And then they'll tell you something's wrong with you. It's my job in this universe as a goddess incarnate to tell you that this is all bullshit. Okay, we're in a simulation. It is not your life to please others. It is not, you need to live your life to live out your divine life's purpose. It is not your job, to, nurture somebody else's emotions. That is their responsibility. Your responsibility is to make sure you're okay mentally and you can, survive and you're able to, be good so you can manifest and live the life that you desire. It is not your job to babysit other people's emotions, to give them your energy. They don't have permission to give you your energy. To take your energy. You don't need to give them your energy. So there's going to be a lot of people on your spiritual awakening path to the point where you fall out with them because you no longer energetically align with them. You need to understand that these types of people can become enemies really quick. Some of them, if they don't have ill will, then that's good. But a lot of them won't see what your path is, and they'll wish you something that is unwarranted, something that you didn't ask for. It's important as an energetic healer for me to educate you and say that this is not okay, because this is not their life to live. This is your path and your life. If you are being called by a deity, by all means, see what that deity wants. So if Lilith is calling you, this is going to raise a lot of red flags for people in your circle who are tied to Abrahamic religions, whether it's Muslims, Christians, and so on and so forth. Some of them will actually go into your personal things if they're really wicked, and they will start fumbling your things or stealing your things or even damaging your things. Okay, when this happens, you guys need to understand that I'm an energetic healer. I cannot be there with you as a police officer or a lawyer or in a court of law. If you need to go and get a restraining order, you guys, I'm an energy Reiki healer, master teacher. I'm a goddess incarnate, but you need to do what you have to do. But make sure, okay, that you are surrounded by supportive people, because if you do take these measures, in my experience, there will be people who these narcissists and these energy vampires will be sending for you to try to damage you, whether it's your reputation or taking away something or someone that you love, to the point where they will all gang up on you energetically, and they will all use energy of power of the tongue spells, and they will target you in groups to the point where they try to take everything away from you to try to weaken you, because they know your strength and they know that you're on a different path, and they're jealous, they're wicked, they're envious. Keep going, moving forward. Develop a support team out of these toxic people, okay? And also make sure you have a safety net and get far away as you can away from these toxic energies, because what energy vampires want from you is they want to take your energy. They will harbor ill will, jealousy, they will harbor envy, and then they will try to talk amongst other energy vampires, and then they all will conspire. They do it. And then what they do is they cast that negative energy out towards you, to where it's not just the evil eye anymore, it's actually they're casting spells on you. They're doing talking spells on you, to the point where they are starting to, energetically bully you and spiritually attack you. They will go into your dreams. They will try to not only do things damaging your things and damaging your reputation, but they will try to attack you spiritually. And they do this through leaks and through your aura and through your chakras that are not sealed or protected or bright and spinning clockwise. So what they do, especially if they're energetic vampires, is they will go through your dreams and they will make you dream of them. They'll block your dreams. They will attack you in your dreams. What they also will do is they will gang up on you with different people. Okay, and I want you to understand that this is a spiritual attack and this is not your fault. This is from their own stemming of their own insecurities and their own envy and their own jealousy. I want you to understand that you are a very strong person who is meant for so much more than this, and who, it's not your fault and it's not your responsibility to babysit or nurture the emotions of energy vampires, to the point where they will try to rage bait you. They will try to produce an emotional response and get a very negative response out of you, to where you're feeling low, depressed, anxious, irritable, tired, frustrated, angry. And then what they will do is they will harbor that energy, and then you will harbor their negativity. So it's like an energetic flip-flop, and you don't need that in your life. I want you to understand that energy vampires don't even know what the fuck they are. They don't even know that they're energy vampires. They do this subconsciously at first. Yes, they're aware of their jealousy for you. Yes, some of them are aware of that. But what they do is they will lurk. Okay, and you could look up all of these energetic healers on here. There's so many energy vampire cord cuttings. I mean, energy vampires are very, very real, to the point where it's a karmic tie. You are almost always connected to them in a past life, to where you guys have made a pact to come back in this life together. But this is where people like me come in, and we energetically cut the cords. Okay, so in your next life, you could be free of them, because what they do is they produce, eventually, they get your energy, they make you feel some type of way because they're already projecting that energy towards you from the evil eye. Then they get your energy, and then you're feeling low or frustrated or tired or drained, or just like bone deep, like fatigued, like you want to go to sleep for days. Or maybe they know how to say something or do something, and then get a response out of you to the point where you feel frustrated, and you end up going into a very bad rage, and then it makes you look bad. And then some of them will videotape you, and then they will put that out there, and ruin your reputation. They'll show it to their colleagues, neighbors, other family members, to the cops. And this is where, you need to really understand that you have rights, and that this was not okay, and that you need to get to a safe place. This is why I say always go to a trusted confidant outside, away from the toxicity, from the energy vampires. Always make sure that you have a safety net, and you have a group of people who are going to have your back, just in case they try to attack you, because they will try to attack you. This is what energy vampires do. And then if you also don't know how to put up good boundaries, or maybe they don't know how to respect boundaries, because I'm not going to sit here and blame you, because this is not your fault. Like, other energetic healers will be like, oh, they'll try to make you feel like shit. And they won't even realize that they're doing it. They'll be like, oh, you don't have good boundaries. No, it's that you do have good boundaries, and the energy vampires sense that your boundaries are so high, and then they start criticizing you, and then they start going harder to try to bother you, and messing with you more, and messing with your things, or saying things, or just being, you know what I mean? And this is like, at this point, you're just like, okay, well, this person needs to be like locked up, or this person needs like some fucking serious help, or I need to get the fuck away from this person. So like, if you need to do all of these things, then by all means do them, because energy vampires, they're energetic, so they will attack you telepathically with their thoughts. They'll lurk. They will try to know every single personal detail about your life, so they could use this against you behind your back, or use it against you to your face after they've rage baited you. They're very high, strong, toxic individuals, to the point where they will sabotage all of your work to your success. They will turn people against you. They fight really dirty. So I need you guys to know this is not your fault, and that you do have a choice to, okay, stay away from these types of people. Don't engage. Gray rock. It is important that you go and find a safe place away from these people. It's important that you keep a clean diet. You also exercise your physical vessel, and it's important that you have trusted confidants outside of these people. So if just say your colleagues are giving you problem at work, okay, and just say you work amongst energetic vampires. There could be energy vampires anywhere, honestly. But if you work with them, there's always going to be that favorite, to where the energy vampires will form a circle, to where you're the black sheep of that circle, or you're maybe the target and the black sheep. And a lot of them are malignant narcissists. Some of them are covert narcissists. And then they will start to not just target you, but they will start to literally bully you, and then gang up on you, and then triangulate you, and then they will make you seem like you're just the villain, and it will be a smear campaign on you. And then before you know it, you end up feeling drained, you end up feeling tired. They keep going and going and going, and then you'll just start ignoring it, to the point where you'll forget to put the talking boundary, because it's not your fault, you know what I mean? Because you're dealing with all this negativity, this animosity, this hatred, this unfairness, this injustice, to the point where at this point you're just like zoning out, and you're not even paying attention to them. You're just like working. And then in the break room one day, you hear, like, just say you're having a snack, and then they come in. This is a hypothetical example, and then it's just like the group of them, but it's just like, just say hypothetically it's like a team lead, his other team lead, a coach and then just like a floor associate, just say like in retail, and then they're, talking, and then they say things, but it's just like in a roundabout way, and it's meant for you, and then like boom, you snap, and then that's like your rage, you know what I'm saying? And then it makes other people that they've told seem like you're the villain, because now you are producing this energetic response, which is not your fault. You're the target of their, bullying and their toxicity, their animosity, their evil eyes, to the point where now they're like, see, I told you about her, I told you about him. To where this is pure manipulation. This is what toxic energy vampires do. Lots of narcissists do this, whether you're a covert narcissist where you keep things more under wraps and you're more passive aggressive, or whether you're a malignant narcissist to where like you'll just openly attack or something. And you need to just go within and focus on yourselves. Like, for the people who do this, I want you guys to know out there, because I know there's going to be some people watching me and listening to what I'm saying in my sessions, who are narcissists, who, maybe, you're feeling guilty because I just called you out for something that you did, and maybe you were targeting somebody, and maybe this person was going through something and you had no idea what the hell they were going through, and something really negative happened to that person, and you're just like, oh shit, like, I've talked down about this person and then they got fired, or I was the reason why this person lost this in her life, or I was the reason why. It's never too late to heal and to focus on yourself. So people who have to target other people, it's because they are not focusing on fixing themselves. They're focusing on making other people the villain, but they are the whole time harboring, like, okay, a negative, maybe a personality disorder that they need to go to a mental health doctor for, like a therapist or something. Or maybe, they are harboring a childhood trauma or an adolescent trauma from the caregivers growing up, to the point where, they never learned how to mentally process this, to the point where they are just, carrying that. And then how they cope is they do this in groups, and they never learn how to not just mentally, cognitively process this, but they actually learn how to target others in this negative way, which is not okay, because you never really know what somebody is going through. So it's never too late to heal yourself and to focus on you. It is important that, you go within and you take steps, action steps every day. Okay, how could I be a better person? You set your intentions more optimistically during the day and focus on yourself, focus on your own goals. How do you start to do this? Little changes make huge milestones. So, like, okay, you want to start focusing within. You want to start focusing within cognitively, mentally, focus on your mental health. You could do breath work, you could do sound bowl healing, you could do meditation, you could do painting, you can, you do things like this for your mental health. You can go to talk therapy, you could do art therapy, you can, just, you could go in nature. But it is never okay to narcissistically abuse or attack somebody, because later on, you guys, I don't know if you know about this, but the dharma will come back to you. There's something called positive and negative dharma, to where what you put out comes around in the afterlife and your next lives, to the point where you need to be very conscious of your intentions, your actions. You have to be very considerate on how your actions affect others, because all of this will go back. You guys, it's a karmic thing, to the point where some narcissists, they will just be really toxic. They will self-medicate, and they will be malignant narcissists, and they will self-medicate with sex addictions. They'll self-medicate with alcohol. They'll self-medicate with any type of drug addiction, to the point where, okay, and then they will honestly take out like anger. If they don't like you, they'll take it out on you or your things, or like the people that you love or your animals, to the point where, like, okay, if this is happening, you need to get to a safe place. You need to take your animals and your kids and take them to a safe place. Okay, if this is happening, eventually someday, and you need to take like precautions on what to do to get yourself safe. And you know what I'm saying? I'm an energetic healer. Like I said, I cannot, go and file that restraining order for you. Like, you guys have to do what you need to do for you. What I do is I go in energetically and I remove these cords. I'm a clairvoyant, so I can see them. I'm a clairsentient, I can feel them, and I'm a claircognizant. I know that they're there. Okay? But if you need to go and literally get a restraining order or call the cops, I cannot physically be there to help you guys do this. Like, I am an energetic shamaness, okay? Do what you need to do. But I also want to say, try your best to feed your physical vessel healthy things. This is really important, to the point where, like, some days, if you're on a spiritual path and you're healing, you're going to want to use, this is really important, this Florida agua, as well as, yes, shaman rattles, to move the energy around, stagnant energies around. But I also want to make something that I haven't drank for a while. It's very healthy, to the point where sometimes you're going to have to juice and do things for your physical vessel that you might not want to do if you're on a spiritual awakening path, because in your digestive system it gets more sensitive. So you're going to have to tweak your diet to adjust to all of these. So this is what is this? Anatolia mix, and then this one is a nuts and organic mix. So I take these two juices, and I do a concoction, and I mix them together. And then I take these, and most of the time I have fresh, but today since we're on video, we're gonna do this. And I'm gonna show you the barcode. And me, I like a lot of that. I like a lot of this in mine. And you're also going to get some of this. Sorry if it cannot, you're going to pour some in there. And then sometimes I like to take where is it? And stir it up like this. And as you can see, I have been drinking this today, so this is why the glass looks like this. And you don't ever want to consume a whole bay laurel, ever, because that will mess with your digestive system really bad. This is really good for your digestive system. I also would like to add papaya seed, would be good for this as well. Sorry about this, you guys. I just got it. I bought it yesterday. This glass. Okay. So, I hope that you guys gained some knowledge from this video. I also wanted to do one more thing. And sometimes I like to put this into, but since I just put a bunch of powder, I didn't. I'm going to be pulling more cords out of you. So if you need to get a restraining order against an energy vampire because they won't stop ruining your life, by all means do it. But make sure you have somebody to protect you. Because in my experience, after my dad and my brother died, I didn't really have anyone to protect me, to where they all ganged up on me, and then they all got me to lose pretty much everything and everyone in my life. So it's important that you have a safety net as well, and a support team outside of these vampires. If you're unlucky, they'll be in your family, trust me. But if you really are protected, you're not fully unlucky, because you have spirit guides to protect you. Okay, you guys, and I want you to know that you're not alone, because your spirit guides are with you. And I'm also going to be drinking this. This is really good. But it's not going to fix an energy vampire. An energy vampire will never be fixed. In order to survive without energy vampires, you physically have to move away from them. Energy vampires will not... Where is it? Hold on, I'm trying to find something. It doesn't matter how much of this you burn. If they have other people on their side, and if there's a team of them, you're going to have to move away from the vampires. Because the vampires will try to fight you, and they'll fight you in every which way possible. And they will try really hard to ruin and damage your reputation. They will try to intrude on your energy. They will try to intrude on your physical property. They'll try to take everything and destiny swap you with their destiny. Which is important to understand. This is not your fault. So this is how you clear your energy. So it's important that you take rubbed sage and white sage and dragon's blood incense, as well as cedar stick, as well as other things like angelica root, and burn it. Because if you don't, you will eventually lose your mental health, and you need to keep very, very strong in your mentality away from these energy vampires and their attacks. They don't know that they're energy vampires. An energy vampire does not know that he or she is an energy vampire. They will know something is wrong with them, but they won't know exactly and pinpoint it. Most energy vampires will self-medicate. My ex is an energy vampire. I know this. He self-medicates all the time. He smokes a ton and a ton and a ton of weed, to the point where he also, at one point, started doing Molly. And at another point, he started doing pills before me. This was before me. So energy vampires won't understand it, but they will share a trait with an energy vampire in their family. So energy vampires often flock together. So in my ex's case, his mother was an energy vampire, and they would flip-flop and feed off of each other's energy, to the point where it was so toxic, I couldn't take it anymore, to eventually the point where it was and we broke up. And this was also for my divine protection. The divine was like, okay, this is not serving you in a way that is good for your mental health, your physical vessel, for your babies, your children. So I'm going to take this person out of your life because they're extremely toxic. And it was actually a redirection process. And it went against the grain of every single, Adam and Eve, Christian, to the point where I was raised in Catholicism, which is a form of Christianity, which is a form of an Abrahamic religion. Christians, Muslims, so on and so forth, to the point where the traditional, Christians were oh, you have multiple baby dads. And it was easy for them to judge me and put me down, so they felt better about themselves, because some of them were envious, some of them were jealous, some of them just didn't like me. So it was important for me to understand that this was not my fault. And it was very important for me to understand that I didn't need to be fulfilled to have a life like everybody else, to where I was going to be, an Eve to an Adam, that, I didn't need to be married to feel fulfilled or happy. I did not need that. I needed to look within myself, and I needed to be strong, and I needed to, go through a lot of spiritual lessons, okay? So it was important for me to learn all of this. So this is why I'm able to stand here today and educate you on, spitting my goddess wisdom and my knowledge, because I have went through a lot of this myself previously in my years before this. I don't want to say formative years, but my 30s. That was probably the hardest decade, and this probably is the hardest lifetime that I've ever had to endure. But I'm still breathing. I'm more than a survivor. I'm a warrior. Okay, so I want you guys to know that if you guys are going through any like hardship, trial, just know that you are going to get through this, but you need to learn how to stand alone and be strong alone. You don't always need to be strong like with other people. It's okay to stand alone. So I hope you guys gained a lot of wisdom and knowledge today, and I hope that, you just learned some from my story, so, you guys could be strong on your journeys ahead. Blessed be, and so it is.